all those gone. Folded hands, have you ever thought of reaching past the point that you felt your fingertips? Listen, look. Rearrange
From the remnants of Jeddah City comes a broadcast that will shake the Empire to its core. Rogue One Radio will discuss all things Star Wars and all things in the nerd culture, in and out of the galaxy far, far away.
Hey folks, it's Steve and this is Rogue One Radio. This is episode number 87 and I'm all by myself right now. Nicole should be coming along. And tonight we're going to be talking about part 3 of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Let's see who we've got in the chat. DJ is with us. He couldn't be with us tonight. He's on vacation, but it looks like he'll be popping in the chat room from time to time. Megan is there, but I think she may have already left. She had some iPad power issues. Spencer's with us. Hey, Spencer. Welcome back. Lunar Girl is with us. Always a pleasure. And Patrick is with us. Welcome to the chat, Patrick. Well, alrighty. If you dropped in a little bit earlier on the channel, you might have noticed we played a few tunes before the festivities got started. But yeah, let's go ahead and oh, Vader Girl just popped in. Haven't seen you in a while. Good to have you. And we've also got a guest that was not announced. We all love surprises here. So let's go ahead and introduce our guest. It's Don.
Oh, hello there.
Hey, how's it going, Don?
Good. How are you?
Doing good. Oh, you know what? I think Nicole just popped in. There she
is.
Oh, there's some
I didn't
trouble.
know we had a surprise guest. This is awesome.
I'm pretending to be DJ today.
How cool.
Yeah.
I'm so excited that you're here.
Thanks. I'm excited to be here.
Wonderful.
So we got some cool stuff to talk about. Of course, we've got Kenobi. We've got a little bit of news. We've got some stuff that Nicole is going to talk about that she did this past weekend and had some fun doing that. And then, as always, we'll have our tunes to play a little bit.
Drop that beat. Drop it.
So, before we get started, what have you been up to this week? Don, you just got back from a cruise, didn't you?
Yeah, I was on a 7-day cruise, Carnival cruise.
Where'd you go?
Well, where didn't I go? I didn't go to Costa Maya. We intended to land there, and the waves were too bad. We went to Cozumel, but it was kind of rainy and crappy, so we did a little shopping. We got back on the boat, took a big nap, and then we went to Mahogany Bay, which is on the island of Roatan in Honduras.
Nice.
And we had a beautiful day at the beach.
That's good.
But the whole time we were stuck in the ship, we really couldn't get on deck because it was so rainy and poopy outside.
Oh, wow. I've never been on a cruise.
It was a great experience, but there was a hurricane in Central America, and it kind of oozed into where we were at and sucked.
I'm sorry. But
that's all right. We had a great time.
That's good. And hopefully you'll be able to, do another cruise. And hopefully it'll be better the next time around.
Mm-hmm. I only put sunblock on one time in the Caribbean, and I'm a ginger.
Okay, I get well, I'm not fully injured, but I get that. I mean, I
Yeah.
get that.
Yeah,
I get
that
that.
means something.
Yes.
So Nicole, you had something that happened this weekend, but let's get into that when we get into our news section, so we have a little bit more time to talk about it. But
Okay.
other than that, what have you been up to?
Well, last night I actually recorded with Danny at Comics and Cosmetics. I'm not sure when that's going to be dropping, maybe the end of the week or next week. So that was a lot of fun. So shout out to Danny.
What do
And
you
I
guys
want
talk about?
what?
What do you guys talk about?
Well, of course we talked about makeup because hello, cosmetics, and of course we also talked about comics.
Very cool.
No, not to be a smarty pants. We actually talked about Wanda / Scarlet Witch. So very excited. It went well. Learned a lot. Learned a few new things. So that was good. Of course, I've been rewatching Stranger Things because I loved the volume 1 of season 4 so much. So I've been rewatching that. And that's about it. Not much, not, same old, same old.
Yeah.
Reading books, all that jazz. So,
Couple more additions to the chat room. Dragon Buddy is with us. Welcome back. Blake is with us. And Extra is with us.
very cool. Hey, Techie.
Nice. Getting some folks that don't normally come into often. That'll be cool. Yeah, I've really been much into anything, just work and waiting out the days.
Yeah.
How many more days you got?
If I leave on the let's see, let me pull up my calendar here. If I leave on the 2nd, like I want to, we're looking at 1, 2, 3, about a little over 3 weeks.
That's my daughter's birthday.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get out of here on the 2nd of July. And
Nice.
if we get lucky, and I'm going to pack up the truck on the 30th, but my wife is actually going to fly in so that we can drive up there together.
Aw. It's nice.
So if I get off work early on that Friday, which I should, because we're doing this summer hour thing where we only work half a day. We work an extra hour throughout the week, and then we get off early on Friday. So if I remember to work all my extra hours that week, if we can get out of here on Friday, that'd be even better. But that would also mean we'd have to stop somewhere for the night, probably.
Well, I'm sure you're not going to want to, but if you guys do, July 4th, we're going to have a party here in the lake and barbecue and all that kind of business. So you're welcome to bring your family.
There you go. Hurry up, Steve. Let's go.
So you live in Jackson, is that right?
It would be about a 2-hour plus drive for you. Like I understand not wanting to make that trip.
Well, no. I mean, Detroit is about 2 hours. So are you closer than Detroit?
As the crow flies, yes, but driving wise, I don't think so. Because I think in order to go from where you're at, you're going to have to go down to Grand Rapids, over to Lansing, and then down to where we're at.
Okay.
As opposed to just being able to drive straight over to Detroit.
Yeah. Well, we drive fast though, so.
Yeah. Either way, like if you guys feel so inclined, you're more than welcome. Even if you want to pitch a tent in the yard and stay, you're welcome.
That's a great invitation. I'll have to talk to her about that.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, other than just waiting out the days, I'm not really doing much. Yeah, I haven't even been watching any TV other than Kenobi.
Kenobi and Stranger Things. That's been my jam.
I just jumped into the new season of The Boys.
I'm gonna start watching that, I think, but
you haven't seen it at all?
Neither have I.
No. I've seen the first 2 seasons.
Oh, okay.
I haven't watched the new season yet. No.
The first episode of this season opens with, you guys run a pretty PG show, don't you?
P to R.
PG.
So there's
17.
a guy with
Depends on-
Ant-Man similar abilities, and he meanders down his boyfriend's business end of his rifle,
Oh,
and he
this sounds like
sneezes.
Sheriff After Dark.
Alrighty.
And then he sneezes.
Oh
And I
dear.
think you can put the rest of it together.
Oh
Yeah.
dear. Oh dear.
About that.
It is a hell of a show.
Yeah, it's an interesting show. I mean, when you start the entire show off with some guy basically blowing up another guy's girlfriend
Yeah.
by running
yeah.
through her.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, it doesn't slow down.
No, that is definitely that show is definitely not for the
Faint at heart. So you haven't seen it at
younger
all, Nicole?
generation.
No, not yet. I've been so
Oh,
busy with so many other fandoms. There's
It's
only
so
much time.
good.
Yeah, it's definitely not for the younger generation.
No, it's not for children.
But it's a good show though.
But then again, neither am I.
So that's true. Well, on multiple occasions, we're not really meant for children either. But
Yeah, I have no intention to ever do a show that's kid friendly. It just doesn't match my personality at all.
Oh man. Brandon just jumped in the chat. Welcome, Brandon. All right. Well, let's get this thing going. We are a part of the Red 5 network, as is Don from the Escape Pod. And if you would like to visit more Red 5 podcasts, just look down. One of these days, I'm going to get that spot. Okay. That link down there is where you can find more Red 5 podcasts. They're all great, and they're all worth checking out. So if you like podcasts and you like pop culture, definitely the place to be. That link will also be in the show notes if you need to check it out there. And if you're watching us on YouTube, which right now you are,
You should be.
you can subscribe, like, comment, and ring that bell so you don't miss an episode. And make sure you do hit that like. I've noticed the number of likes has gone down. I think people are just forgetting to hit it.
Smash it.
Make sure you do that.
Pretty much
yes,
describes marriage, doesn't it?
pretty much. But yes, definitely also hit that subscribe button. And I think right now we're at 120.
Woo! And growing.
And
On
growing,
our
of course.
200.
But Nicole, where can they find us on the social medias?
Find us, Rogue One Radio, on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, as you can see right here as it scrolls across your page. Or if you're listening on Spotify and any other cool places, of course, again, make sure you subscribe to us. And again, that's at Rogue One Radio. Again, we are on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And of course, also is the gentleman above us at the ATSW Escape Pod. That's also part of the Red 5 network. And we cannot forget to thank our Patreons, Steve, because they are what helps us to grow.
That's right.
And some cool things that we have coming up. I mean, stickers and some other
Got
cool
some stuff.
that's coming.
So, you say you want to support us financially? Well, there are ways to do that. And
I do
the
that.
And the first way you can do that is by supporting us on Patreon. We do have 5 technically 7 patrons right now, which I will now give a shout out to. We have Dave Brown. Thank you very much for being our first patron. We have Kelly and Chris, aka Little Girl and Dragon Buddy. Thank you very much. We also have, big surprise, we have Don from the Escape Pod.
Hey, and he's here tonight. Thanks,
He's
Don.
here with
I'll
us.
do a
Thank
personal
you for
thank you. Thank you.
contributing to the cause.
And get see what happens when you're part of Patreon. Sometimes you even show up right here on our show. How awesome!
Yeah.
It could happen to you.
I keep trying to get David to show up on a show, but he wants to wait until we do a Star Trek episode. So, you know.
Don't call me for that.
Okay.
I mean, I watch Star Trek, but I'm nowhere near the level of interest required to have an intelligent conversation about it.
Fair enough. I know enough to be able to hold a semi-intelligent conversation, but
Yeah.
Dave is definitely a much bigger Star Trek fan than I am. Who else we got? We got Nicholas from Backyard TARDIS. Thank you very much. And last but certainly not least, we have Scott and Kim of Used and Abused. So thank you all for your patronage. So yes, you can go to Patreon, look up Rogue One Radio, and you'll find us there. How else can you support us? You can buy our merchandise. There's a little link right there. That is our TeePublic site. You can buy shirts and coffee mugs and a bunch of other stuff that I don't even pay attention to, really, because those are the two most important ones. Speaking of t-shirts, I need to get one before ScarifCon.
Me too.
So yeah.
I haven't even worn mine yet. I'm saving it.
But yeah, I need to get myself one. Let's see. Am I missing anything? What do we have? Oh yeah, we also have a phone number where you can leave a message.
Yeah.
Leave us a message. 405-595-0108.
Right there.
Let me just put it up on the. There we go. 405-595-0108. Call us up, leave us a message, and we will play it on the air. I think that might be it for all our housekeeping stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what time it is now? It is time for our first music break.
Heck yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess that thing at the beginning really wasn't a music break. So, like I said, if you guys, at the top of the show, if you guys came in a little bit earlier, you might have noticed we were playing a few pre-show tunes. So, if you are interested in, if you were here earlier, if you're interested in knowing what those were, the first one was, oh man, I don't remember which order I played them in. One of them was a band called Airstream Futures. They are from Chicago. The song was Stubborn Bones. And the other song was Cables and Arms. I think they're from San Francisco, if I remember correctly. With the song False Flags. Those songs are on the Rogue One Radio soundtrack playlist on Spotify. So be sure to check that out if you like the music that you hear. But let's do a music break. This song comes from a band out of, I'm going to butcher this name, Kitchener, Ontario. So some friends from Canada. They are called Handheld. They have a new album coming out on June 14th from Thousand Island Records called A Canadian Tragedy. Whoa. And this song that I'm going to play is called Leaving Candyland.
Ooh, can I go to Candyland? Who wants to go to Candyland?
If you want to.
Let's
enjoy.
go.
I never really saw you first at the second city. Your early works were really hard to find. My side in stitches watching you try to get home for
All right, Leaving Candyland by Handheld.
Cool.
Cool stuff. All right. What are you doing with your hair there? Are you trying
I
to?
threw some Leia buns real quick.
Okay. Channeling your inner Leia. That's good.
Yes, I am. Love my
Okay.
Leia.
Before we get into your big news, let's go over a few headlines.
Yes.
You actually had one that you sent over to me on Discord about a certain anniversary.
I think I have like 5 things pulled up actually that I sent you.
You did, but I'm speaking on one about a specific
About tomorrow?
Movie's anniversary. Yeah.
So tomorrow is Ghostbusters Day. Tomorrow will be also the 38th anniversary of the original Ghostbusters. And I also heard that there's supposed to be an announcement at some point tomorrow, like in the evening or something. So we'll see if it comes out to be true.
I wonder if the announcement has anything to do with the sequel to Afterlife.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I always felt like they left it so if they wanted to be done, they could be done, or if they wanted to continue on, they could continue on. So
yeah,
I hope so. I really hope so.
Science Fictionary is in the house.
Andrew. So yeah, that's tomorrow.
Hey, Andrew.
Cool.
We'll be keeping some extra eyes open on that. And of course, if we hear anything, we're going to talk about it next week. So
of course. Let's see. First headline I've got. A Joker sequel has been confirmed by director Todd Phillips.
Ooh.
This worries me. Hold up.
How so?
One, I had a feeling it might be coming because I felt like that last credit scene, kind of like Ghostbusters Afterlife, it could happen, it couldn't happen. But Joaquin Phoenix is pretty much known for just doing one and done. So I'm very curious. And one, this is also the first time I'm hearing, so I'm curious as to where you got that from. But we'll see. I hope, I'm really hoping it'll be amazing and awesome because the first one was so good. I loved the one with Joaquin Phoenix. So
yeah, and according to the article which I got from CBR, it's actually out on some other outlets as well, but Joaquin has read the script and is planning on returning. So I mean, it'd be dumb if he didn't, because I mean, why would they even do the movie if he doesn't show up?
right.
But
I mean, he would have to really be on board.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Again, he's not known for doing second movies. He really likes one and done. So
yeah, I know.
Not that, but I don't believe that he can't do it. I believe he can, but I know how much he put into that first one. So it'll see how this goes.
Oh, here's an interesting piece of news that came from the chat room. 2 weeks until the Muppet movie 43rd anniversary.
I'm all about that.
Yeah. Yeah, Don, it's loud because I push the volume on those.
Well, it's not just you. Like when we play our internal clips at the beginning of our show and the end of our show, it's crazy loud. It's something about the way our sound okay, so we have the main soundboard that we run the show through. And then there's another soundboard that runs the microphones or the headphone splitting. And something is happening in there where those clips are loud as shit and the microphone volume is normal.
You use a Rodecaster, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
But once we decided to go to dual headsets, in order to get the sound coming from you guys to come through and the sound coming through the board at the same time, I got to use another small compact soundboard to split those together. And for whatever reason, when you run a video or I run a video or something, it is jacked to 11.
Wow.
And
That's
I don't know.
Said.
Yeah,
all
exactly.
right.
I do not know how to EQ that out.
11.
Back to the news.
All right. We have a release date and a trailer for
Yep.
the Sandman series.
Oh, I thought you were talking about something else. But yeah,
We'll
That's
get to
Neil
that.
Gaiman, right?
Yes, that's Neil Gaiman.
Nice.
And that is a Netflix TV show, of course. But yeah, Neil Gaiman was the creator of Sandman. We've talked about this a couple times on the show because I'm actually really excited about this. But yeah, we did get a kind of a teaser trailer, and the release date of or premiere date rather is August 5th. So we don't have much longer to wait. I'm looking forward to that. And I watched the trailer earlier today, and yeah, I'm even more excited to see it. I think it looks really cool. JT Gunter is in the house. Hello, JT. Cloud lifters would what's he saying here? Cloud lifters would cleanly boost your Rodecaster volume, then you can lower the mains.
Yeah, I'm already doing that.
Okay. I don't know what cloud lifter is, but I also don't have a Rodecaster, so
Cloud lifters go in line with your microphones, and they boost the power above the phantom power levels, so you can run your gains lower and you get a higher output. So everything's nice and clean because you're not amplifying too much. They're fancy studio stuff.
I was talking to somebody, must have been yesterday or the day before, about the Rodecaster, and he was suggesting that there is an alternate, does the same thing, it's just a different brand, and it's like $300 cheaper.
Tascam makes a real nice one. Is that the one you're talking about?
I want to say he was talking about it may have been a Tascam.
Yeah. Mike from Wookiee Radio runs all Tascam stuff.
Okay. Man, I can't remember who it was that was telling me about it now. Oh yeah, no, it's a Tascam Mixcast.
Yeah.
And it's okay, so it's not as cheap as I was thinking. It's about $100 less.
And it's not as dummy friendly as the Rodecaster is. You have to know a little bit more.
Well, if it's I might as well just spend the $100 more and get the Rodecaster.
There's a brand new Rodecaster that's coming out. So if you're going to do that, wait. They're the same price. So
yeah, it's gonna be a bit anyway. I mean, I'm actually gonna like reformat my entire system here because I'm gonna right now I'm running off a Mac, but I wanted a little bit more portability, so I'm gonna get a laptop, and then probably.
Oh yeah, you asked me about a laptop, didn't you?
Yeah, I talked to a lot of people about different laptops. I think I'm going to end up going with an Alienware.
Those are nice.
Yeah.
I sent you a picture in Twitter of a cloud lifter.
Okay. All right, we've got headlines to talk about. We're
Sidebar Cantina.
We throw out that squirrel. We need a squirrel. This is all you, so it's a squirrel.
I don't know. I think this is a squirrel and a bunny.
No, this is not a bunny because I did not do this.
Well, it doesn't have to be you to be a bunny. I can go off on a bunny trail too.
No.
That bunny's cute.
You're the squirrel, I'm the rabbit, and the train just.
Does that make DJ the rooster?
Yes, it makes DJ the rooster.
I thought he was a turtle now.
Or maybe he's a turtle. Maybe, I don't know. We'll have to ask him when he returns.
Okay.
He won't be able to see the show.
We have.
Actually, he's in the chat, and also welcome Patrick because I saw him pop in.
I think he's been in since the beginning.
Yeah. So
another premiere date that we have that's been announced is for an Amazon Prime show. A League of Their Own, rather, based on, of course, the 1992 film, is scheduled to make its debut on August 12th.
I had not heard that.
And the trailer dropped today.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I saw that there was a teaser. I have not watched that one yet. I
did send it.
I really hope it's not bad.
So I'll say this because I did see it. I actually watched it a few times.
Okay.
One, because I love the original movie, and I actually follow on Facebook. Yes, I'm still on Facebook, people. I'm actually in some groups that talk about the original, the Peaches and the women's baseball leagues of that time, and so I really hope they honor that. I hope they honor what was happening then, not what's happening now in society, but what was happening then, and keeping it true to, what I mean, to the timelines. I'm actually excited because I could kind of see that some things are different, but at the same time, I could kind of see where some of the same things were kind of going along with the movies, where she's catching the train, or, they're sliding in. There were just certain things I was like going, is it different enough? So we'll see. I really just hope that it's going to be true and original to the actual people that were during that time and of that time frame. And really honing in on what was happening then, and just be genuine and authentic about it. I really do. But I think but it looked good. It looked good. And of course, anybody who knows me knows that I'm not that far from Rockford Peaches. So of course I'm a Rockford Peaches girl over like the Racine Bells or some other ones.
So
Actually, some Grand Rapid ones too. I can't remember the name.
yeah, I can't
I don't
either.
remember either.
There's one.
So Penny Marshall isn't doing this, huh?
I do believe she is. Did Penny Marshall pass away?
Maybe.
I do believe, right?
I think she did. That sounds familiar.
Yeah, don't break my heart there, though, Snooze. Come on.
Sorry.
But no, it's okay. And no, Penny Marshall is not in on this. So again,
Yeah, she died in 2018.
Will Graham and Abby Jacobson.
So I'm hoping. Well, because like authentic is very important to me. I love time periods. I love dramas and things. And when you get down to those historical fictions and stuff, sometimes they go the way it's supposed to, and other times they're throwing in modern day stuff with old stuff, and you're kind of like, well, you kind of defeated the person of a time period drama.
Mm-hmm.
So
interesting.
We'll see.
Hector jumped into the chat. Welcome, Hector.
Hector-Lorian.
So Patrick, I'm interested to hear your thoughts on this topic. He's telling me about the Alienware. If you could DM me on Twitter, we can have a conversation about that. Because I want to know more about that, because I'm strangely not that familiar with Windows laptops. So
Patrick, I have the information.
Yeah. So
I used to have an Alienware tower. And it did run a little hot.
Yeah.
Drop it like it's hot. Mm-hmm.
But I water cooled it, so then it chilled the fuck out.
You threw water on your laptop?
No.
We do not suggest that here at Row One Radio.
What's that now?
I said we do not suggest that here at Row One.
No. Disclaimer: do not put water on your laptop.
When I was in college, that was just becoming a thing. Water cooling a PC, and I was like, "There's no way you can't do that." And then I started working with the technology, and I'm like, "Oh, you can do this."
Cool. But yeah, Patrick, if you're on Twitter, DM me. I want to talk about this because I don't want to buy something that's going to be a piece of crap. Okay. We have one more premiere that's been announced. And actually, how old is this news? Now, you may already know about this. Season 2 of The Bad Batch has announced its premiere date is going to be September 28th. And I believe that we have a trailer already for that as well.
I've not seen it, if it is, which is weird.
I have not seen either, but this article says that it recently received its first trailer.
I'll have to go back because I don't remember that.
Yeah, I'll have to. Well, it says it was the trailer was released during Celebration. So
must have missed that. There was so much though coming out of Celebration. My brain was all blah.
Yeah, I must have missed that. Yeah, there was a lot going on. Will the laptop grow extra wires? What?
Maybe.
Oh, if you put water on it.
If you
I don't
water
know, maybe.
it.
If you water it.
Yeah,
maybe.
didn't you ever see Little Shop of Horrors?
Hey, speaking of,
there's no
I got-
seeds in the laptop, so I seriously doubt that it's going to grow.
It depends on the laptop, though. There might be singing in your laptop.
So speaking of growing, we also have to mention that there is one more premiere date that we received this week.
We did?
Yeah, actually, we sent you into it in our news group room.
I'm sure you did. No problem.
Coming to Disney Plus, August the 10th. I am Groot. I am Groot.
Oh yeah, I remember. Okay, I do remember seeing it. I don't know why I forgot to. Where's it at? Oh, okay. I see it now. Yeah, I saw the thing for Ghostbusters, and that just kind of threw me off.
Mm-hmm.
So, very cool.
Right. And I have one more piece of news I want to throw out because I know this is more on my end than y'all's end, which is fine. So, of course, I was excited when this book came out this year. Run Rose Run by Dolly Parton and Jane Patterson, and that big announcement came today that this book is being made into a movie. And just so y'all know, this book already comes with a soundtrack with Dolly already. So
I
I'm
like
pretty
Patterson.
Well, and it's a combination. So I'm really excited. It's being made into a movie. Reese Witherspoon's media company, Hello Sunshine, is a part, as well as Sony. So I'm really excited. So I'm really excited to see what happens because it looks like Reese Witherspoon's. I don't know. She's been busy behind the scenes these days. She's got some movies that seem to be coming out that look really good. So that she's just involved in with her media company. So I'm excited to see what happens.
Nice.
Well, Nicole, I want to hear about Star Wars Day.
Yes. Cue the pictures. Do you want to just do one picture at a time and I can talk about things on the in-between, please? Roll the photo.
First, just tell us what it was, and then we'll start running the pictures, and you can.
Okay, as I do a picture, I do have some show and tell for everybody today.
Very cool.
So one Star Wars Day was this past Saturday in Joliet, Illinois. It was put on by the library and their museum, so a huge shout out to them because it was so much fun. I have been told a few years ago I need to go to this, and I didn't go. And of course, and we all know it happened in 2020, and then didn't happen again in 2021. But it returned this year, and they begin with a parade with the 501 being there. They have arts and authors that were there. Food trucks, which is very important. They had a live sound, stage. Lots of cosplay, lots of fun. When I went there, I felt like it was the prequel to what's coming up at ScareCon. And that feeling of the Force, the feeling of Star Wars community, the real community, not all this bickering because you may or may not like something or, giving people hassles, but real actual community. It was so much fun. I'm hoping it'll be again next year. I had a great time. So yeah.
Very cool.
Nice.
I know. I'm excited because I got some show and tell next.
All right, let's find. Okay,
Mike, this one you pull up first. Okay, so this picture you guys are seeing is of John Jackson Miller. He is author of Kenobi and A New Dawn with Hera and Kanan. So I got both those books and they're autographed. He was really nice and really kind. He took a few minutes to talk to me, took some photos and stuff, and who knows, maybe one day we can get him here on Rogue One Radio. I think we can, because I did talk to him about it. So, surprise, Steve!
Very cool. Very cool.
I had to get this one, A New Dawn, because I'm like, well, now that we know Hera's coming, I wanted to kind of get a little bit more backstory to her.
That's for Scare Effect After Dark.
Well, not about that part. Well, we could talk about that after Scare After Dark later.
Hera.
All right, what you got there next, Steve? Okay, so this is Bill Media. I hope people can also see me as I'm pulling up stuff Okay, so this is my original artwork from him. This is Grogu, and this is Bill Media Movies in Miniature. He makes these really amazing art pieces that are like 2x2. That's all the size is. I hope you guys can see this because I picked me up and I got me a new one. And I don't know if you guys can see it, but this is Endor. Hold on.
There we go. I see it.
And then there's Leia and Luke right there. All this beautiful detail in this little piece. It's amazing. He is such an amazing artist. I will drop his information tomorrow. It's actually already on my Twitter, but I will be throwing it back out tomorrow, as well as the author, John Jackson. Sorry, John Jackson Miller.
If you shoot me the links, I can get them on the show notes.
Oh, I will totally. Yeah. So this is Bill Media. I've actually been friends with him for a few years on Facebook and now on Instagram as well as Twitter. And I just finally got to meet him not yesterday, but over the weekend. And I was so excited. He was a great guy. Again, he took time to really talk to us and stuff. And I'm sure he can also come on here sometime too. Surprise!
Cool. All right. What do we got next?
Okay, what do we got? Okay, so you guys, I was so excited. I walked up and all of a sudden these Wookiees came out, which of course you can see is Chewbacca and Chrysanthemum, and they were awesome. But the little dude in that picture is actually Little T of Big T and Little T. So I was so excited because I got to meet Todd from WSTR. His picture is the stormtrooper that's coming up. I got to meet his son, Little T, who's there in the photo with me. And this whole thing was so much fun. It was random because it just happened. And thankfully, he was being just as silly as I was.
Isn't Todd one of the coolest dudes to just be around?
Oh, dude, it was so cool. And his wife, Jennifer, is so great. And his daughter, I mean, I got to meet their whole family. And it was just,
nice.
It was awesome. It was awesome.
They going to be at ScarifCon?
So Todd will be. I did talk to Jennifer to see maybe she might be coming, and she's not sure.
Okay.
So I did invite her. I did remind her. I said, you are more than welcome. I said, we had some spouses coming. So I said, you're more than welcome. I said, this is about, Star Wars, it's about community. It's, so.
I asked my wife if she wanted to go, and she's like, nah, bro.
And you're like, but there's going to be spouses.
I can guarantee you that my wife will not be coming.
All right. And the next photo. So this is Todd. Actually, you guys, I'm beginning to think Todd is actually part of, like, from how Kenobi had the safe houses. I think he's a stormtrooper that puts us in the safe houses. Because Todd is so nice and he's so kind. Again, Todd is from WSTR podcast, and he's also part of Big T, Little T podcast, a part of the Red 5 network. And again, it was so nice to go out to Juliet and hang out with some of the local Red 5 family and friends that I got to meet and hang out with. Again, it was a total prequel to what's coming.
Very cool.
All right, ready?
Ooh.
All right, so here in the middle, obviously myself. In the middle is Greg of Rebel Base Card. I am so excited because shout out to him because he also gave me some swag to take with me. I'm so excited because I've yet to open them up. Greg was at ScarifCon last year, so I got to meet up with him again. And, my friend Brandon, huge shout out to him because he also came with me and enjoyed the day. And we just had a blast. And he also took a lot of the photos, and it was just awesome. So anyways, but we got to meet with Greg first, sit down, have a meal with him and his daughter. It was just a really great time. Again, we really do have some really awesome Red 5 family and friends. No joke. Greg is an amazing guy. And again, he's supposed to be at ScarifCon again this year. So I was excited to see him again, prequel to what is coming. So it was a good day. It was so much fun. I cannot say enough about our Red 5 family and how great they are. So
very cool.
They're really great. Cool. And I feel like I'm full of shout outs today. Like,
sounds like you had a lot of fun.
Shouting out like all the people I'm just so grateful for because they really do. They really make a difference.
Frank's another one of those people that's super fun to hang out with. We had a great time hanging out with that dude.
Oh, good times. Good times. Sorry, now I want to start singing good times. So I'm hoping that this event happens next year. I did mention to Todd, and we've even talked to Ro already, that if it happens next year, we kind of would like to do a local Red 5 booth next year. So, and by then, somebody else will be in area if he wanted to come down to visit. So, we'll see.
Cool. So, yeah, get those links over to me and I'll put them in the show notes.
Absolutely.
All right, what do we got next? I think that's all for the news. Oh, we got another music break coming.
Yeah.
Before you jump to that, did you guys see that the trailer dropped for the new Predator movie today?
No, I haven't.
It's on Hulu.
Is that a reboot? Or
No, it's going to be on. It's part of the same timeline, I guess. But I think it goes farther in the past, and it involves.
Oh wait, it's like a TV series, isn't it?
Yeah, it involves some tribal folks, and it's called Prey. And the trailers look. I'm not a huge like horror movie fan or whatever, but Predator's kind of more action.
Yeah.
The trailer for that looked really cool.
What network is that going to be on?
Hulu.
That's right. You said that. Okay. Yeah. Cool. I may have to check out that trailer.
It's definitely worth a look.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, music. We got another song.
Time to jam.
What's that?
So it's time to jam out before we talk about some Kenobi.
Yeah. So this one comes from a band called James and the Cold Gun. So they are from Cardiff, Wales. They just put out an EP on Loose Groove Records called False Start. And this is a single from that EP. It is called 7. So here you go. Enjoy. 7 from James and the Cold Gun.
Very cool.
All right, so let's get on to the main topic. We have Kenobi to talk about.
Kenobi.
All right, so quick synopsis of part 3. Also, have you noticed that none of these episodes have titles?
No,
They're
I
just,
didn't.
they're just
But you
part
just
1,
pointed-
part 2, part 3. Interesting. Anyway, so part 3 starts off with Vader and Reva talking, and he tells her that she will be promoted to Grand Inquisitor if she finds him. And then we drift off into I guess kind of like a mining planet that the cargo transport that Kenobi and Leia were on lands. And they go to where they were told to rendezvous, and there's nobody there. So they end up on an Imperial transport, piloted by a new alien species. I don't remember the guy's name. Do you guys remember his name?
Flick. Both.
He was
Such-
an Imperial sympathizer, so he was
Right.
pro-Empire.
Flick. Look.
Click. What?
Yeah, you might be right. It could have been Flick.
It was like Flick or something. I could see his face because he was an alien.
Yeah.
And
Hold on. I'll look it up on IMDb while you guys talk.
it was
You do that.
Flick. I'm
Okay.
sure it's Flick.
So they get to a Imperial checkpoint, and old guy tells them to check these folks out, and they get into a bit of a firefight, and then they get help from what seems to be an Imperial officer, but actually turns out to be a member of like a dissident group, group of outlaws that are hunted by the Empire. She takes them to a little secret underground passage, but they are thwarted by the arrival of one Mr. Darth Vader and the Inquisitors, who go around trying, killing some of the townspeople to try to get Kenobi out. And Kenobi sends Leia away so he can kind of provide a distraction. And then he gets into a little bit of a scuffle with Mr. Vader, who, of course, pretty much overpowers him and burns him. And then our former Tala was her name. She was the one that we thought was an Imperial officer. She helps distract the stormtroopers that are trying to take Obi-Wan after Vader takes him out. And then so she gets him away with the little kind of the cargo robot. But then the episode ends with Leia kind of confronted by Reva.
Yep.
And that is where our episode ends.
The character's name was Freck, played by Zach Braff.
By Zach Braff. Isn't that the dude from Scrubs?
It is the dude from Scrubs.
Oh, wow.
Well-known
That's cool.
Star Wars nerd. Him and who was the other guy?
The surgeon
from
Scrubs.
Let me IMDb his name. I'm terrible at this game, kids.
That's the name game, Amy.
He was in that Star Wars not Insurrection. What was the name of it? What was that cartoon?
Visions?
Donald Faison. You know how I'm talking about?
Nope.
See if this will come across.
Yeah, he was in Scrubs.
Yeah, it was in Scrubs.
Yeah, he played the surgeon. His best friend. The
Oh,
surgeon.
so we're talking about the same guy.
Yeah.
So he was in that Star Wars cartoon that a lot of people didn't like.
Visions?
He played Hype Phazon in Star Wars Resistance.
Oh, Star Wars Resistance. Okay.
The green dude.
It wasn't my favorite Star Wars cartoon, but I didn't absolutely hate it.
I liked it quite a bit, but a lot of people, I guess, just did not dig it.
I mean, it had its flaws, but overall, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I thought
Alfie.
it was going places.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about this episode. Let's start with overall thoughts. What did you think of this episode, Don?
This episode, although I loved the first two, this episode was like the one that I got like super geeked about. There was so many moments in it where I was like, yes, they're doing it. I really dug the relationship that was being fostered between Leia and Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
You really got a peek into how force sensitive Leia is. Like, she doesn't even really realize how much she's tapping into the force. And we got to see all kinds of cool, like, Empire stuff. Empire stuff always makes me happy.
Yeah. Sure, it makes DJ happy too. So
This is true.
Yeah.
Just seeing the Imperial Cog-gun stuff, I'm like,
so we'll get to specific likes here in a minute. But Nicole, what was your overall impression of the episode?
I felt it was I'm going to rewind what I'm going to say. So originally I first watched it, I was in awe because I felt like I expected everything in this episode to happen later, like in number 4 or 5 or, I was just expecting it later. So I was surprised. I rewatched it, and again, I liked it. I do like it. It's good. It's a good episode. But again, it took me. I was off guard by it being certain things being so soon. But at the same time, I'll get into it with between my likes and my dislikes because it's like a catch-22 with all my stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
I liked the episode. So far, the series overall, I'm really liking. But yeah, this was a really good episode, and I think I know what you mean about things happening too early.
Well, I was just surprised, but I think I know. Again, I'll get that with the
I know where it's going, though. I think I know where it's going. Yeah.
Right.
All right, so let's talk specific likes. I think I'm going to start. I like the new characters that are getting introduced. Specifically the rebel that's not really a rebel yet. The one that was impersonating an Imperial officer.
Tala?
Tala. I keep
Yeah.
forgetting her name. Yeah, I like that they're introducing characters that we don't know anything about. Like her. Of course, I liked the interaction that we got between former master and student. That was, of course, amazing. I too actually didn't realize it was going to happen that early, but I think we're going to get more. I don't think that's the end of that encounter.
Agreed.
What else did I like? I don't know, that that little fight kind of trumps the entire episode. It was pretty good. But I agree with what Don was saying about how they're further fostering the relationship between Obi-Wan and Leia. I like how they're putting that relationship together. Kelly, no, I did not. None of us have mentioned Quinlan, but I do remember the name drop.
I haven't gotten there yet, Kelly. We're getting there.
Yeah,
He's
so that was pretty cool. Yeah, that was pretty cool. I'll let the rest of you talk about your likes, and I will probably agree with them.
I'll let Don begin because mine kind of shifts. Mine's a catch-22, so I shift back and forth. So it might be safer just to have Don because I'll probably start the dislikes as I'm doing my likes. I never make it easy.
You're not going to see a lot of dislikes on this episode for me. Like, I felt like the pacing was good. We saw Kenobi wrestling with whether or not it was safe enough to tap into the Force. So you saw him still grappling with, we all get set in our ways. And once we decide the right thing is the right thing, sometimes it's hard to change our mind, even though it's obvious we should. We saw quite a bit of his growth as far as how he's going to have to exist in this new world. Because the world, like he was a Jedi for so long and it was one way. And then that all fell apart and he couldn't be a Jedi anymore. So he had to learn to live in the universe a different way. And now all of a sudden it's changing again. Except he's a decade older.
Right.
Like we don't respond well to change the older and older we get. So now he's a man in his mid-40s?
Get off my sand!
Get off my sand lawn, you bastard. No, really, he's decided that this is the way the world's going to work. And now all of a sudden it doesn't work that way anymore. And as much as he tries to fight it, he runs into a world that's changed around him. Like all of a sudden there he is facing off with Vader and he's not even sure he wants to turn on his lightsaber. Yeah. The story that they're building is pretty doggone good. Like you can nitpick some things that, might make you mad or don't fit into the way you thought the canon was supposed to work. But doggone it, they're writing a good story.
Yeah, definitely. And Deborah Chow is doing an amazing job.
I haven't seen anything she's done that I don't like.
Yeah.
Her and Dallas Bryce Howard can tell me a story any day.
Thank you,
for sure.
Don. Yes,
sure.
yes. Everything he just said, yes, especially the ending. I am so with you on that. I so want a series or a movie or a trilogy by Bryce Dallas Howard. I don't even know. Like Dave Filoni. Happy birthday, by the way, to Dave Filoni. Today's his birthday.
Wow.
Well, since he's listening.
So if he's listening, 2 things to celebrate your birthday. Happy birthday. 2, please put Bryce Dallas Howard in charge of a trilogy or in charge of a series, please. Thank you. Okay, so again, my likes are good, and I don't have many dislikes, so you'll see how this goes here in a second. Which is probably best that I kind of begin and end. One, again, Deborah Chow, I do believe she's doing a great job. I'm going to say this because I feel like there's a lot of really cool small details that maybe not everyone's noticing, but that's making a huge difference in this show. Like the throne scene. When you first see the throne and it's there, did you notice that there's red? Did you notice the black? Did you notice that it looks like the inside of Darth Vader's helmet? Heck yeah. If you look closely into the throne room, there's another scene where there's like lightsabers and even like it looks like possibly the younglings' helmets. Now that is savage and very Sith. What? Go back and watch Kenobi, y'all. Just catch those small details because I that is one thing that I caught that I was like, wow, these beautiful details really make the difference because it's a nod to the originals. It's a nod to what's happening. It's a beautiful nod to sorry, I'm distracted by my cat and my my animals because she just kind of like jumped. Anyways, I'm a total rabbit now all of a sudden. Anyways, so back to what I was saying. So all those beautiful details, go back and watch because it's really interesting. If you go and you all of a sudden realize you're inside, that looks like Darth Vader's helmet, or the detail of, I loved the opening scene when you saw him getting assembled. Okay, and if you hear that sound, that original sound of the air is also the sound that was in the in the original. That shh. Oh my gosh, I love those small details. They really, I feel like, make a difference. Again, I like you. I like Tala. I love the new he wasn't a droid, he was a robot. Was he a droid or was he considered a robot? He's
the loader?
All I know. What?
The loader?
The loader?
Yes, the loader. Don't ask me why I like the loader because one, he
likes
held
them
that
big
right
and
hand
dumb.
man. He wasn't going to let anybody hurt them. And then he had the moment, of course, which we're going to talk about in a few minutes, the duel. And he comes out, and I'm like, now that's loyalty. And that is why I like the loader. Where's my action? I want him.
I think
one.
you just want a
funny, though.
big, strong fella that doesn't say much.
Well, in this case, I just really like the fact. Okay, hold on. So, okay. Linda wants to
Like
say
that.
hi.
What's up,
Everybody.
kitty?
Okay, yeah, she just all of a sudden decided she wanted to join us. Like, seriously? Now she wants to join us. Aw, see? Look at the kitties. We all got to share our kitties. We love our kitties around here. Oh my gosh, now my daughter's boxer wants to join in the fun. This is getting out of hand, y'all. Anyways, yes, we have
Kitty cat trails.
Anyway, get back because I'm totally squirreling here and rabbiting all over the place. Again, beautiful details. And the loader, I really liked him. I hope I say this right. Quinlan Voss. So one really cool thing about the safe house. Okay, that's really neat. And I want to throw this out for a reason because I remember when I was reading the Rise of Skywalker series, there's the Journey to it, the books. And I remember that, or even like the Black Spire, that they would send up little camps, little places. And that reminded me of the safe house, which again, I'm pretty sure Todd of WSTR as a stormtrooper probably is because I can tell, Todd, I'm pretty sure that you're probably one of those that helps us out. Anyways, so I thought that was really cool, especially when he read that. So, and I know that there has now been speculation, hey, he could be the one that saved Grogu. Is it possible? Yes. Could they surprise us? Because maybe it's not Jocasta Nu like I've been thinking. It's possible because I'm all cool about, different really cool theories. So we'll see about that. Okay. I want to talk about the duel. Again, this is my catch-22. This is where I'm going to kind of swerve around here because originally when I first watched this show, when I watched Kenobi, I was just like, wait, this is the big battle that she's been talking about? They've been talking up? What the heck?
I don't think it is.
No, let me finish because this is my catch-22. So again, I was just like, what is going on? They said it was going to be big. And I wasn't taken by it. I was like, nah, that was all right. It was meh. Watched it a second time, and I kind of started thinking, going, but why did they do it this way? My brain started changing. And I started going, well, isn't this interesting? Mr. Obi-Wan Kenobi he's not really strong in the Force as he was. He's actually quite weak right now in comparison to Vader, who's been consistent. He's been working. He's been going. So now it makes more sense to me. So this is where I'm going to swing the negative to the positive. That seeing him go through the fire, like he was playing with Kenobi. He was loving it when he realized that he wasn't as strong as he was before. He was going to use it up, and he wanted to Vader wanted to prove himself. So he put him through the fire, literally through the fire. And, you know, basically letting Kenobi feel what he had felt originally on Mustafar in The Revenge of the Sith. So watching it a second time, that's when my mind changed. That's when my brain went from this negative output to more positive, and I just changed my perspective. So that was really pretty interesting. Oh my gosh, and I have to really mention this about little Leia. Again, I'm going to be wearing my Leia buns as long as that young lady is in the show, because I absolutely love her. She's adorable. Of course, I love the character Leia anyways. But man, that moment with Frick, when they were getting on and he sees that flag, I was like, girl, didn't anybody teach you not to get go talk to strangers yet? But you could see her sass and that continued Leia part that's like the Leia that we're used to. But oh boy, when they were getting on that truck, I was like, no. So, kudos, because they really did make me worry about them, and they really did make me feel that moment, and I was just really impressed. So, and of course the sad moment when he was talking about about Padme too. So yeah,
Nice.
throwing it back to
All right.
I got a question real quick before we get too far from this.
Yes.
Is Quinlan Voss and Dryden Voss related?
I don't know.
Guess we'll have to wait and see. Maybe we'll find out tomorrow.
These are the things I want to know in life.
Yes. All right. Well, I'm going to throw it back to you, Nicole, and tell me what you did not like about this episode.
Well, I kind of began already with that whole, again, originally, I really was not impressed by the duel. But again, my perspective changed. When I watched it the second time, I felt, wait a minute, I bet you we're going to get the big battle is still coming.
Yeah.
They surprised us already, but what they are doing is, this is what you're getting, but hold on, because we're going to get more. And that's another thing, is I think, for me, the more negative has been the fact that I've seen so much negativity towards some of this. And it's like going, hold up, wait for the story. They've told you, they're telling you, wait, you're going to enjoy this. It's all going to make sense. And so really beyond that, I don't really have any negatives, because mine really did change. Once I watched it again, I think my negatives changed because my perspective changed. My attitude changed. Happens. So.
How about you,
Either
Don?
that or I'm one with the Force.
My negatives are like dumb shit. Like,
Yeah.
why shut down the gate so that you could get the truck through when you're just going to walk around the gate?
Oh, yeah. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Most people don't. It's just,
Right,
I listen to proto nerds get upset about this stuff all the time. Just, it's just stupid. But, like 9 times out of 10, if I have something shitty to say about somebody's art, it's usually like, you didn't think about that? Really? You didn't think about that at all?
Yeah.
Right.
It's just, you sat in a room full of writers and nobody was like, you know what? What if they just walked around the gate? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
And I that's the kind of stuff that bothers me. It's short-sighted stuff. It's not usually the main driving plot points or what they did with a character or didn't do with a character. Like when the third sister walks into the little parts room or whatever, right? What made her decide she wanted to move that shelf and see the handle?
I think that was the Force. I really think that I think she's kind of like Anakin. I think she's like Vader. I really think because I do believe she was the youngling, and I think she can channel some of that.
The only problem with that theory is every time somebody's using the Force around her or against her, she's completely powerless. So I don't know how in tune with the Force she really is. Like if it was Vader or somebody, sure. You know what I mean? I just thought it was really odd. There was the framing of the shot did not imply that she had an intuition or she saw something. She just like kind of walked over and was like, oh, this is obviously a door. Like, why would there be a door? You know, would you really walk into somebody's house and see a wall that has a few shelves on it and be like, I bet you if I move that TV, I could walk into the neighbor's house? Well, of course you don't think that.
This is not Narnia. This is Star
Right.
Wars.
No.
That's what I'm saying. It's just, it's stuff like that. Like, just set it up so the shelf isn't all the way back. Like, there's a notch in the floor and the shelf isn't exactly where it should be. So that then we follow along. You know what I mean? They're just, I hate to call them rookie mistakes, but the scene that might have made that work may have ended up on the chopping room floor. Like,
Yeah.
Right. Well, it makes sense what you're saying, because when I talk about, I was so excited about all the other beautiful small details that really make the show, and then you have small details like that that undo those beautiful things.
right. Well, I don't know that they undo. The question was posed,
Partially.
things you didn't like.
Right.
Yeah.
And these are not things that I would bring up normally.
Right.
Right.
Same.
So, yeah, I don't really have any specific dislikes about the episode, but I do want to bring something up about the show kind of in general. It doesn't necessarily bother me, but it concerns me. And it's something that kind of, it's more just a discussion topic I have that I kind of want to bounce it off of you guys and what you think about it. It's something that kind of maybe not necessarily throws off canon, but maybe conflicts a little bit. And that's what I want to talk about.
Okay.
So, in A New Hope, when Vader and Obi-Wan confront each other, Vader says, when I left you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master. So that makes sense if we got Revenge of the Sith and nothing else. So where does that put that quote in? Like, where does this show put that quote? Because he obviously is not the learner anymore in this show. So
It's master.
yeah,
Master.
I just find it a little odd that they didn't. I don't know. It just seems like they didn't really think that one through.
There was a good explanation for that.
Well,
And
That's what I was hoping to hear.
I look at simple stuff and going, well, it's master versus master, and let's wait and see what happens.
So Kelly says, here's something. I think Obi and Vader still have another fight coming, which I agree, where
Yeah, agreed.
Obi will kick Vader's ass.
Agreed.
Okay, yeah, if that is the case, which I hope it is, that would help with this concern I have.
I think that there is some in this conflict, Vader was completely aware that Obi-Wan was not bringing the weight of the Force in this fight. He fought this fight alone.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was the reason why he was toying with Obi-Wan the way he was, because he did pick him up by the throat through the Force. He did drag him through the flames, and Obi-Wan more or less let him do it.
Yeah.
There was at no time Obi-Wan really like called upon the Force and got quiet. And you know how they usually show us when somebody's calling upon the Force?
Yeah.
There was no time Obi-Wan did that.
I think the reason he did that is he was so used to hiding his Force sensitivity. It's almost like I've got the Force. Oops.
Right. And I think that that Vader knew that and was toying with him. You know, like, all right, you don't want to meet me on a level playing field and treat me with respect. I'm going to drag you through fire.
Well, he did basically to him what was done to him.
Right. But I think that was more out of frustration because
he was expecting a
Anakin,
fight.
being the Anakin that we knew from before, he would want to face Obi-Wan at Obi-Wan's strongest.
Yeah. Like I said, he wants a fight, and he's not getting it.
He wants the real fight. And he didn't get it at the end. So I don't think he's going to get it. I think that we're going to get another one of these encounters. And Ben Obi-Wan is going to kind of opt out of that fight too, in the same way he did in the New Hope.
Okay.
Like Vader never got a piece of him, and that was how he overpowered him.
Okay, because if that's true, then that means my change of perspective is going to suck. Because, and here's why.
Sorry.
I'm backing up here. Because that means that original duel from both ends, it was only really one-sided. Again, I was like, seriously? Like, this is awesome, but really? Like, it wasn't like the big, like they had been amping up to us, and it doesn't live up to what they have already told us was supposed to happen. So, again, I get it when it's one-sided that it was a, good duel, but it really wasn't a duel because really it was like Ben wasn't, really even Obi-Wan at that point. So
I think the duel that we're going to get is going to be epic.
And I think dual fate can happen too at the same time.
But it's gonna end in a way that Don's talking about.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think Obi-Wan is going to give Anakin the satisfaction of an all-out fight. I think Obi-Wan will defend himself with the Force in the next encounter. But I don't think that he's going to give Anakin the straight fight that he wants. And I think that lends to or defers to the conflict that they have in A New Hope, where Ben says, if you strike me down, I'll be more powerful than you can ever imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Because by then he was also really using the Force and really, in a whole new way. So,
yeah, I think that what we're seeing is the same kind of, more what we will see is the same kind of master-apprentice relationship that is frustrating to the apprentice. When you challenge the master, you often find you're still short. And I think that was the whole intention of the conversation they had in A New Hope.
I mean,
like, if you take me out of this plane of existence, I will become more powerful than you can imagine.
You got to also imagine that Darth Vader throughout the original trilogy, even past his duel with Obi-Wan, had Obi-Wan on his mind because he kept telling Luke, "Oh, Obi-Wan has trained you well.
Right.
Obi-Wan once thought as you did. Obi-Wan thought he could, he kept mentioning Obi-Wan. It's like, you got a Obi-Wan fetish there, dude."
Right. Very obsessed.
Definitely obsessed with him, even after his death. So, I mean, we could have a whole conversation about that, but we won't. But there's definitely some, I mean, for lack of a better way to put it, maybe some daddy issues there.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord, have mercy.
Anakin never knew his father.
Right.
If he had one.
Well, unless you consider Sidious to be his father.
But there is some canon text that implies that, but nothing comes out.
That's a theory we could go down a whole new rabbit trail with.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, Obi-Wan's really the closest thing he had to a dad.
Yeah.
So he's definitely got some issues there, because in his mind, Obi-Wan betrayed him.
Yeah. But really, it was the other way around.
But yeah, I definitely think we're going to get another fight. I think we're going to get that epic duel that we were promised. I think Deborah's going to give that to us, but I think it's not going to end in some fantastical way.
Yeah, I think I agree. We're not going to get. It's not going to be Endgame at the end of this.
Yeah.
Like Thanos isn't going to show up. It's it's going to end in a way that leads us into what happens in A New Hope.
Yeah.
Kind of, because we still have some time after this. Unless they do a time jump, we have some time.
Yeah, that's the question now. Are they going to leave this open for a Kenobi season 2? I know that
speculation, but we'll see.
We'll see.
Right.
Okay. Cool.
I hope they don't just take it because it was the #1 debut. I really hope that they really fully think it out and have a really good plan and a good script.
Well, if I know anything about Disney, they've already been working on a script, whether or not they intended to use it.
Yeah.
And Lucasfilm, hopefully.
Well, Lucasfilm's a better idea than it is an actual functioning thing anymore.
And that is another rabbit hole for another day.
Yeah. So tomorrow we get a new episode of Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'm sure we're all looking forward to that.
As well as Miss Marvel, if you're wanting to.
That's right.
I'm gonna watch that in the morning too. I there's a lot of people that are poo-pooing the whole idea of this show. I have no expectations. It can only be better than the not thing that I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, yeah, I think it'll be all right. I'll watch the first episode and make a determination then. But that kind of wraps us up today, for tonight. So Don, thanks for joining us tonight on short notice.
Hey man, thanks for having me on. I was literally going to sit there and rewatch Kenobi and write tonight's show or tomorrow's show, and I just wrote tomorrow's show and talked to you guys. It was a better way to spend the day.
You write your show?
I write
man, I just play
bullet
it by
points.
ear.
No,
I got bullet points, but that's about as far as I go.
Tomorrow night we're having Black Spire broadcast come on the show.
Oh, okay, cool.
our newest Red 5. Yay.
Yeah. And we're going to talk about all the upcoming Disney Plus shows, over the next year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea is that we're just going to discuss what we think may or may not happen, what we know, what we don't know. And it's just going to be a casual conversation. So it was very much just writing a basic outline of how the show's going to flow. I gave up on trying to keep the escape pod on the rails a long time ago. Now I'm more like bumper bowling. I've just created some padded rails, and I hope we hit some pins at the end. But it's all just for fun. Like this whole thing, at the beginning, I was like, oh, I should make a product people want to, be a part of. And then I was like, you know what? We're all friends here. Let's just have a good time.
Yeah.
But yeah, Don, thanks for coming on. And thanks everybody in the chat room for coming on and hanging out with us and talking some Kenobi. We'll be back next week to talk about part 4. Did you have something to say?
Yes, I do. If you guys want some more Kenobi tonight, you can check out Extra Techie. He was just with us in the chat tonight, and he will be going on shortly in about 30 minutes, a little bit less. Extra Techie,
Very
right here.
cool. Make sure you
Part
check
of
that out.
Red 5. So,
Yes. Make sure you check that out.
Sean's the best.
yeah, Sean's, y'all are the best. Y'all are awesome.
All right. Well, come check us out next week and check out all those other great Red 5 shows. And you guys are on tomorrow live at what time?
7 p.m. Eastern. Well, 7:05 Eastern.
Eastern. Okay.
We like to say we go live at 7:05.
I'm probably going to have to get used to saying Eastern myself.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, once you get into Eastern time, then you'll realize that that's time.
That's the time.
The rest of you guys are just doing weird shit. Eastern time standard.
Yeah. Just a couple more weeks. All right. Well, thanks everybody for showing up and hanging out with us. If you are watching on YouTube, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe. And we're going to close things out with a little promo for this little thing coming up in July called Scare of Con. You folks have a great night and see you next week.
Collecting there, bro.
Dominic and his son, they're here.
These guys are all celebrities.